Hi guys, today we're going to be explaining Iron Man, what a blockchain is. So, imagine that you and we have a digital notebook, and every time someone sends money, we send money to a friend is paying us back, whatever, we're going to write it down in that notebook so we can remember. Now, that digital notebook, we're going to call it a ledger. Now, also imagine that thousands of people around the world are also going to have that exact same copy of that ledger. So that's what a blockchain is, a shared digital ledger or a shared digital notebook. And you might be asking, okay, wow, that's what a blockchain is. So what are the blocks? How do they connect since it's a blockchain? Okay, let me explain. A block, think of it as the page of the notebook. And this is going to make sense in a bit. So every time we send money, we're gonna write it down in a digital notebook, and we're gonna write it down the transaction. But we're not gonna write it randomly, in different pages or wherever we find space. No, we're gonna group those things into one single page. That's what the block is. And in that block, we're gonna have our transactions, the date that they happen, the time when those different things happen, but also we're gonna have one very important thing, which is gonna differentiate every single transaction, and that's gonna be a hash. And think of the hash as the digital fingerprint that we're gonna have. And now I'm gonna explain you how do they connect. So this is where it gets really, really interesting. Each block doesn't just have like its own digital fingerprint. The crazy thing is that it also stores the fingerprint of the previous blocks, of the previous pages. So it's like every page that we have references the page before it. And that creates a chain of blocks. Blockchain, once again. And I'm also going to tell you about something else that's really interesting, and it's called, what's it called? It's called immunability. Sorry, I had a bit of an issue explaining that. Immutability. So if someone tries to change the transaction of an old block, a new fingerprint is going to be created. You might be saying like, okay, the fingerprint changes, wow, but here's the crazy part. If that fingerprint changes, then every single block that's going to come after that is going to break. And because thousands of people around the world have, remember, the exact same copy of our digital notebook, of our ledger, they're going to be able to notice when something's not matching, when something is different. Our blockchain broke because someone tried to change the information. Someone else is going to know because it's not going to match. And that's why a blockchain is immutable. That's the word, once again, immutable, which is when once something is created, it can't be secretly changed. We can't do it secretly. People are gonna know. And that takes me to another attribute that I wanted to talk to you, which is really interesting about blockchains, and that is what is the word? Decentralization. I think that was the word, decentralization. It's gonna make sense when I explain it to you. So it's just like an app. Every time we have to send a transaction, a bank has to be there to verify it, right? We're gonna have to verify it either if we're using a debit card or credit card, whatever. Well, with the blockchain, our digital notebook, remember, there isn't like an authority. There's no central authority like a bank or any type of thing. Instead, thousands of computers are going to verify that transaction together because they have the exact same copies and everybody can share information. That's called decentralization. So it pretty much means that no single Iron Man controls the whole system. And that is pretty much what a blockchain is, and the blocks and how they connect. This is all for today. Thank you.